College Football Now is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. And if you're looking to hire and build your business right now, LinkedIn is the place to do it. Go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily, as they're going to give you the best chance to hire the right candidates. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Get started today. Kind of a College Football Now, NFL Daily hybrid video here as we're recording this live on College Football Now. But it is Todd McShay's first 2023 mock draft, NFL and college related here. So we'll go ahead and jump on into it here. Bryce Young, the number 1 overall pick to the Houston Texans, the Alabama quarterback who has obviously put together 2 stellar seasons in Tuscaloosa. I would be shocked if the Texans did not draft a quarterback number 1, and I agree with McShay. I think Bryce Young gets the edge over C.J. Stroud. At number 2, the Seattle Seahawks, who get this pick courtesy of the Denver Broncos via the Russell Wilson trade. It's Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia, who is a special talent. There's a lot of debate between him and Will Anderson, who's the better prospect. Carter's starting to rise, and I think Mel Kiper's latest big board has Carter as his number 1 overall prospect over Will Anderson. Seattle adds a disruptor at that defensive tackle position. Now, do you guys want more NFL mock drafts here at Chat Sports from me, Tom Downey, anyone else at the Chat Sports staff? Let us know if you do. Type me in the comment section below. I think mock drafts are fun, and we can do a bunch of different ones for our own, react to ESPN, the athletic ones, other big outlets as well. So if you want more mock drafts, all you got to do is type me in the comments. All right, next up is Will Anderson Jr. as the Alabama edge rusher lands with the Chicago Bears, and the Bears need help on that defensive line. Carter, Anderson, either of those players would be just fine. Detroit Lions go with C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback, according to Todd McShay. And look, I don't know what Detroit's going to do. This pick, courtesy of the L.A. Rams via the Matthew Stafford trade. And if you're Detroit, it's going to be real interesting to see how they finish this year because Jared Goff's been hot. He's got 2 more years left on his deal. It's possible they don't draft a quarterback, depending on how things finish. So keep an eye on that as we progress over the next few weeks. This is when things get interesting. Texas running back Bijan Robinson goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I do get McShay's reasoning a bit. Couple reasons. One, Philadelphia, they can treat this as a luxury pick, right? Like that trade with the Saints, they did not think this pick would be that high. And Philly's got a complete roster. Miles Sanders is a free agent at running back. So Bijan, drafting a running back this high might be a bit of a reach. But at the same time, you add him to that Eagles offense, that could be pretty nasty. Now, will Bijan Robinson be a top 10 pick? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think he's top 10 talent, but it's kind of positional value, right? Running backs aren't as valuable as they used to be. I think there's a chance a team like Philly could take him. With the number 6 pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Will Levis, a.k.a. Mayo Boy, out of Kentucky. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I don't see it in Levis, but scouts love him. McShay and Kiper are big fan. I think Kiper had Levis as his top quarterback recently. I'm just like, I don't get it. But he goes to the Falcons here. The number 7 picks, Peter Skoronski, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Not a super strong offensive line class, but Skoronski's a very talented player. Plays left tackle, but he has short arms. Some think he will move to guard in the NFL. They also said that about, I'm drawing a blank, who's the Northwestern guy a few years ago? Rashawn Slater. They said the same about him, and he's worked out pretty well as a tackle. Tyree Wilson, the defensive end out of Texas Tech, really good pass rusher, freaky athletic traits. Raiders, outside of Max Crosby, could use some more pass rushing help, so they get one here with the number 8 pick. Another offensive lineman here, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Again, it's not the strongest O-line class, but there's 2 or 3 guys that could go in the top 15 here, and McShay has both Skoronski and Paris Johnson going in the top 10, Johnson landing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, post your job for free if you're looking to grow your business with LinkedIn Talent Solutions. All you got to do is go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's what we've done here at Chat Sports. We've used LinkedIn Jobs our last couple of hiring cycles, and it's helped us add people like producer Nick Roloff, who's producing this show, and several other candidates as well. It's given us a higher hit rate on candidates, and that's huge because if you have a kind of a startup business going, one bad hire could make or break your company, or one good hire could make or break your company. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. Post your job for free. One more time, it's LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. That link will be in the description of this video. With the number 10 pick in Todd McShay's mock draft, Bryan Bresee, the defensive tackle out of Clemson. I like his game a lot. High motor, really physical player. I think top 10, top 15 is good value for him. Okay, another curveball here. Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, goes to Carolina. And look, I think McShay is not the best draft analyst, to say the least. But what I will say is it only takes one team and one GM to fall in love with Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is 6'5", 250, and he can throw the ball 80 yards. Some team's going to fall in love with him. I would not be shocked if he went first round at all. Number 11, that feels rich. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't be shocked if someone did, so I'm not going to go completely anti-McShay here. Do you guys think Anthony Richardson is going in the first round? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. I do think some team will do it in the first round. Top 10, top 15, I don't know. First round, though, I bet someone falls in love with those physical attributes. Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame tight end. So you go from maybe the biggest risk in the draft in Anthony Richardson to Michael Mayer, maybe the safest pick. I mean, at worst, he's going to be like an above-average tight end in the NFL. Really good prospect. Texans had a weapon for Bryce Young. At number 13, one of my favorites, no bias whatsoever. Okay, a little bias. Went to my alma mater. Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver out of TCU, first receiver off the board, 6'4", 215, elusive in size combo that we rarely see. Jacksonville gets a big-time weapon for Trevor Lawrence. The Packers would like Quentin Johnston with Aaron Rodgers, but they go Myles Murphy, which great value, by the way. He's a top 6-7 prospect. According to most experts, he falls to 14. Really good pass rusher out of Clemson. New England Patriots get one of the other good offensive linemen in this draft, Broderick Jones, maybe an Isaiah Wynn replacement at number 15. Could make some sense there. Detroit Lions with their own pick now. Joey Porter Jr., maybe the best corner in this class out of Penn State. Physical player, likes to press, brings that nasty. You could pair him with Jeff Okudah. O'Cyrus Torrence, the offensive lineman out of Florida, physical guard, might be the best guard in this draft. Not a very deep guard draft at all. He lands with the Jets at number 17 overall. Now subscribe now, as we believe that we have the best draft coverage here on the internet. Our NFL draft coverage would suggest that, as the last few years we've had either the most watched or top 3 most watched live NFL draft coverage here on YouTube. So subscribe right now. We'll be live for the draft in April, but hundreds of draft videos between now and then. Brian Branch, the Alabama safety, going to Seattle with the number 18 pick as they add another piece to that back end. At number 19, the Oregon Ducks safety Christian Gonzalez lands with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been rising up draft boards. Keep an eye on him during draft season. Here's another receiver, Jordan Addison to the Giants. My boy Marshall Green's going to love this one. Number 20 pick. Great value. He can stretch the field. He can make people miss in the open field. He's kind of like a skinny Stephon Diggs. That's kind of the comp we came up with here in the office. Really good after the catch, explosive route runner. Little thin, about 170, 175 pounds. You'd like to get him into the mid-180s. We'll see if he can put on some weight. Keely Ringo, one of my favorite corners in this class. I don't think he's getting enough love. 6'2", he's physical, really good technique out of Georgia. He goes to the Commanders at 21. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is kind of a enigma, not to go pun on words there, in this draft. He basically did not play this year. Kept retweaking the hamstring, hardly played at all for Ohio State, still recovering, not going to play in the college football playoff. I'll be very curious to see if he tests and how he tests at the NFL Combine here in February. Who you got in the college football playoff? No Smith and Jigba for the Buckeyes, but Ohio State is in it. Type UGA for Georgia. They will face Ohio State. Type OSU for Ohio State. Michigan and TCU will square off. Type MICH for Michigan or TCU for TCU if you think they will win the College Football Playoff National Championship. Cam Smith, the corner out of South Carolina, he goes to the Chargers at 23. J.C. Jackson got banged up this year, didn't play that well. They add another corner. Jahmyr Gibbs, I was a little surprised to see a second running back off the board in this mock draft from Todd McShay. He goes to the Broncos. Pair him with Javonte Williams. Gibbs is explosive. I mean, he can catch the ball. He can really go in open space. You think back to the Arkansas game earlier this year. I think he had like 3 runs of 70 yards or more or something. I mean, he is a really dynamic running back. With the 25th pick, Clark Phillips III, Jim Thorpe Award finalist out of Utah. Did not win it, but he goes to the Baltimore Ravens here at 25. Devin Weatherspoon out of Illinois, a really good DB. I'm a big fan of his. He goes to the Bengals at 26. How about Zay Flowers going round 1 in this mock out of Boston College? He's kind of all over the map. I've seen round 1 buzz. I've seen he could fall to round 3. So I'll be really curious to see where Zay Flowers goes. Antonio Johnson, the safety out of Texas A&M. He lands with the Buffalo Bills here at number 28. Now remember, only 31 first-round picks this year as the Miami Dolphins forfeited their first-round pick due to tampering. So 3 more here. Dallas lands Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end out of Iowa, as they get some beef on that defensive line. Jared Verse, the edge out of Florida State. He goes number 30 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs as they add another pass rusher. And then Isaiah Posky, the defensive end out of Notre Dame, goes 31st overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, this draft order just based on current records in the NFL. So there you go. And there you have it. Todd McShay releasing his first mock draft. Is there somebody missed? Did he forget a name? Rolly's boy Josh Downs didn't go in this mock draft. Drew Sanders, a name that comes to mind. Let me know, who did Todd McShay forget about? Now, McShay did mention 5 other prospects that he was intrigued about. We're just on the outside looking in. Army edge rusher Andre Carter II, really good in 2021. Not as good this year, but still a potential round 1 selection. Keon White, the Georgia Tech linebacker. Josh Downs, just mentioned him, speedy receiver out of North Carolina. Siakiaka, the defensive tackle out of Baylor. And then Arkansas linebacker Drew Sanders. Positional value could play in there, but I think he's got a chance to go round 1. And then 5 other prospects that Tom Downey wanted to mention here, names to watch that didn't go in the first round here. Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson. Georgia tight end Darnell Washington. Tennessee wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, who declared on Wednesday he will not play in the Orange Bowl. He will start preparing for the draft. Georgia edge rusher Nolan Smith, who got injured, tore his pec. I think he's a first-round talent, but the injury could drop into the second round. And then Felix, I always screw this one up, Adudike Uzoma, who I watched in person in the Big 12 title game. He is explosive as a pass rusher coming out of Kansas State. So there you have it, Todd McShay's first mock draft for 2023, plus some other prospects to watch as well. We'll continue to hit you with some draft videos here at Chat Sports, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel today.